Good morning, students. Welcome to our class this morning. Today, we are going to look at mean deviation and standard deviation of classified frequency distribution. In other words, sometimes we call this one grouped data. This is where we have some classes of data. We put them it together as one. Let's look at the example below. 45 pebble has a distribution of masses as shown below. Mass of pebble in gram 1 to 20, we have 21 to 40, 41 to 60, 61 to 80, and 81 to 100, and 101 to 120. Then we have the number of pebble. We have 11, 19, 7, 4, 3, and 1. Now we are required to calculate the mean deviation and the standard deviation. Unlike the one we have done in the previous class, where we simply have the frequency and the score and we multiply them. But here now we don't have a specific math. For instance, what we have here is those pebble that have the mass between 1 and 20, they are classified in the group. Then those that has the mass of 21 to 40, also in another group. Then 41 to 60 in another group. And so on and so forth. Now, let us look at how to solve a problem like this. Look at the table here. What do we have? Now, we have the mass. The first column, which is X, actually here, is called the class. This is the class of 1 to 20, 21 to 40, and so on and so forth. Then we have the frequency, 11, 19, 7, and so on and so forth. Now, for us to have a score or a mark that we'll be working with, we have what we call mid mark. That is X prime. The mid mark is gotten by the addition of the class of the lower class interval, which is 1 and 20. 1 plus 20 will give you 21. 21 divided by 2 will give you 10 and a half, like 10.5. In class interval, we have what we call class width. That is, the class width here is actually in 2020. That is between 1 and 20, we have 20 numbers. That is the class width. Now, after calculating the first one, if it is regular class interval, then you just begin to add 10.5 plus 20, which is the class width. We have 30.5 plus 20, 50.5 plus 20, 70.5 plus 20, 90 plus 0.5 plus 20 again, 101.5. Of course, if you still want to calculate it individually, you are free. 21 plus 40 divided by 2, 30.5. 41 plus 60 divided by 2, 50.5. 61 plus 80 divided by 2, 70.5. Anyhow you want to do it, you are free. Now, we go as usual. Fx. Now, in this case, we are not using x because s is the class interval, is the class here, but rather we are using s prime, which is the mid mark. In this case, we have x f times x prime, which is the mid mark. Then we have that 11 times 10.5, we have 115.5. 10 times 30.5, we 19 times 30.5, we have 279.5, and so on and so forth. Then we have our mean deviation. Now, first of all, in here we have to calculate the mean. The mean in this case is summation fx, of course, which summation fs prime over summation f will give you 1712.5 divided by 45. That will give you 38.0555, approximately 38. Then we now go for the mean deviation. Of course, the mean deviation is the deviation from the mean, which is s prime minus m. In this case, our m is the mean. Then we have the absolute value of mean. That is minus 27.5. The absolute value is what? 27.5. Minus 7.5, absolute value 7.5. 12.5, absolute value 12.5, and so on and so forth. Then again, we have f multiplied by the absolute value of the mean deviation. Then having said that, then if you look at now, the mean deviation is what? Summation f multiplied by the mean deviation, which will give you 897.5 divided by 45. Then that will give you 19.9444, approximately 19.9 grams. That is your mean deviation. Now, in calculating the standard deviation, then we have, of course, we have our mass, the frequency, the mid-mark. I've explained all that. Now, we have mean deviation, which is what? The D. Then we have D squared. That is the deviation, you square the deviation. 27.5 squared will give you 756.25. 12 squared will give you 156.25, and so on and so forth. Then we have FD squared. That is frequency multiplied by D squared. 11 multiplied by 756.25. That will give you what? 8,312.75. And you calculate that. Then we now go for the standard deviation. Of course, standard deviation is given as what? The square root of summation fd square over summation f again. From the table, summation fd square is what? 28,981.25 divided by 45. That will now give you 644.02777. And when you take the square root, you have 25.377, which is approximately 25 grams. You use this method when you are calculating either the mean deviation or standard deviation of grouped data or classified distribution. Where you have class, you group them in the class. Thank you. See you in the next class, where we'll be looking at histogram and pie chart. Thank you, and God bless you. Again, follow us on our YouTube handle. Subscribe to it and like it. God bless you. Thank you.